Hiya there. Happy Thursday afternoon from Jan, Urban Gypsy Crochet, one half of Lancashire Crafty Lasses. I'm coming to you from a very wild, windy Manchester. I just went to I've still got Poppy here, I just went to let Poppy out before, and it was howling the wind so much it sounded like a hurricane was approaching, but then it passed over, thankfully. Well, if you're asking what I'm wearing, it's a very, very old top that I made from one of the double stitch twins patterns, but sadly I think, although it's still on Ravelry, the link to it appears to be defunct, so I can't give you any help as to what it was anymore. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of the tops so that are very similar that you can get on YouTube and Ravelry. Anyway, as you noticed, I finished the cardigan. Finished. Just about 10 minutes ago I finished it, and that's the back view of it. I made it with the wool I had when I ordered the wool from my sister-in-law. By the way, she loves the sweater. I must have gone a bit crazy and ordered way too much. So it has a very good yardage with it. I got it from Lolly's Little Wool Shack, which if you're in the UK you'll be able to get the yarn, but if you're anywhere else you won't. She's based in Blackpool. She does do online if you're in UK, but she doesn't send things abroad. Yeah. Anyway, it was just a double knitting, and it was, I've shown it you before on the other one. I need to turn it round. Oh, please turn round. You probably noticed this before. She doesn't want to turn round. It was from a very old book that I had from when I had the shop. It's Hayfield Crochet book 7121. I did buy another copy not too long ago, which I think I gave to Kelly, so I know it's still sort of around, and the pattern I just crocheted, but you may find it on Etsy or Ravelry, but I doubt you'll find it anywhere else because it is an old book. The one I did was that version with the long sleeves. I didn't put the picot edging around it, I just left it plain. I mean, I made it before, but many, many years ago. But I made it in black, and it wasn't in such a good yarn that I used, and it went all fluffy. So it went the way of the world, yeah. Just been chatting to Kelly before. She's waiting to hear about news from the school, you know, this dreaded coronavirus thing, which we're all absolutely sick of hearing about. Whether or not they're going to close the schools or what's going to happen next. They're cancelling everything left, right and centre over here. I think they're going a bit berserk, but never mind. And my niece has just called in to pick up some things. I think I told you, because she works full time, she can't get things delivered to her house because there's no one in. So I am like the useful postage lady, postal lady I should say, that takes in all the stuff. So she's just been down because she's going to a conference in London at the weekend, so I think it'll be me doing my shopping with my scooter, but that doesn't bother me too much. I can get some stuff on. I can fit quite a bit on my scooter, it's amazing. I was going to try and order online, but Kelly said it's booked up, that she tried to. The first order she could get was Monday, so I thought, oh, I'm not bothering then. I always spend too much when I do order online anyway. Kelly finds it the opposite. She spends less when she orders online than she does when she goes into the shop personally. But I find it the opposite. I sort of talk myself out of things when I'm in the shop. You know, I'll be going, no, you don't really need that. No, you don't really need that. Whereas when I'm shopping online and they go, oh, have you seen this bargain? Have you seen this latest 3 for 2 and all this jazz? And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I live on my own. I don't want 3 for 2. You know, I don't need 3. I only need 1. Whereas as if I was in the shop, I would just pick up one, yeah, and say, right, I just want that one. That's all I need. So I'll go up on my scooter, I think, on, so I won't go Saturday. I'm thinking of popping down to Kelly's actually on Saturday, because I won't have either of the dogs, and you know, I can pop down. I don't stay in a while, but there's certain things I need to keep saying I'm going to take down for her and stuff. And sorry, I was just looking at the fences leaning right over at the bottom there. Oh, it's nothing I've done, it's just arthritis. I was just crocheting before and I find it more comfy to put something on my wrist. Just little things I was going to take down for her. You know, as I said before, I've got loads of things in my stash, and I said to her, don't be buying any more yarn, because she's got things to get for the house, because I mean, that flood made such a mess of her house. So she needs any spare pennies to go with that, yeah. Yeah, so we're just waiting to find out now whether school's going to be closed next week, because I think he's going to put the sort of stop on us going to Bury, because you know, with all the things that's happened to Kelly, like she's a bit short on funds obviously, and also if she takes the kids, there's the kids' bus fares to pay and the kids' dinners to buy and stuff like that. So I think we'll postpone it. I haven't actually told Ian yet that we might be postponing it, but I'm sure one of us will email him shortly. If you're watching, Ian, sorry love, I think we're postponing it for next week. Because the kids may be off school, and also Kelly's a bit low on the readies, yeah. And if it's blowing a gale like this, I'm certainly not going. Anyway, what else have I got to tell you? I was watching, who was I watching now? Oh, I can't remember who I was watching. I think it was Scenes and Rogers, but don't quote me on that. And she was showing a crochet book, and I thought, oh, I haven't got that one. So I ordered it from Amazon. It's called My Crochet Wardrobe by Cassie Ward. 15 wonderful, wearable and on-trend crochet garments. And I must admit, actually, there's no, one or two that I like in there. Hang on when I bring the camera a bit closer. You can still see my cardigan, can't you? It's just that my back's hurting, so I don't want to keep straining towards the camera with the book. Yeah. So the first one that's on view is I'll move it so the glare from the light's not on it. It's got a diamond pattern, if you can see. Nice diamond pattern. I think the back's plain, but you could always do it the other way around, couldn't you? I've not heard of Cassie Ward. I don't know whether anybody else has. That's a shawl, done in hexagons, whatever you want to call them. And that's a poncho. That's quite nice, isn't it? Nice and robust. It'll keep you warm if you're going to wear it in the winter. It's a bit warm for now, but you know, if you're a slow crocheter, you may want to start now. I mean, a lot of the ponchos are a bit sort of, you know, the wind will whistle right through it, won't it? You know, there's very open width ones. They're very nice for summer, but I shall get on further. Oh, there's little pictures with everything on, but I'll show you each one individually. It's showing you the yarns that they're using. And once again, it's that yarn I can't pronounce, which is Shagers or Sheep Jeeps or whatever. That's what the garments are done in. You've got the crochet stitches at the front. It's usually at the back, isn't it, on these books, but it's at the front. Right, this one I really like. It's a sweater. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It looks like leaves. I'm going to take the book down to Kelly so she can see it a bit better. I like that one. Now, much as I hate doing bubbles, I do like that sweater. It's the one that's on the front cover. I'd have to grit my teeth to do the bubbles. But I mean, a sweater wouldn't be anything without the bubbles. It's called a bubble top jumper. And it's done in something stone washed. That's Sheep Jeeps again, stone washed. It's on a 5.5 and a 6. Oh, it says you can use any other Aran weight. I was just going to suggest it's probably an Aran weight. I do like these paler colours though. I was watching Catherine from Crafternoon Treats, and one of her videos, coupled back, she was showing how she dyes yarn with, you know, natural things out of the garden, you know, like not rhubarb leaves. There was different things, tops of leeks and things like that. And they all came out very, very pale, you know, a bit paler than these, perhaps, but I thought they were all lovely shades. She was very informative. I don't dye, and I've got no interest in dyeing. Well, dyeing yarn, I should say, not dyeing personally. But she was showing how different it makes when you put copper in it, or you put whatever, the iron in it or something, how it changes the colours. It was quite an interesting video to watch, even though I've got no interest in dyeing yarn. That's the back view of the bubbly sweater. Yeah, but pastel colours seem to be in for the summer, yeah. This one says going around in circles. I think you'd have to look at that close. Can you see? It's got circles at the bottom, and then it's more or less plain going upwards. It's a kimono. I like that one. That one says you can use any Aran stroke chunky that works up to the same tension. So you'd have to do a tension swatch. Oh, there's a better picture of it there, a bit closer up. You see the circles at the bottom, the granny square circles, and then the top's just done in, I think it's, well, it looks like trebles to me, but double crochets to you, yeah. The back, that's the back view, showing the circles at the bottom. I just bought an online copy of Crochet ! Obviously I can't show it to you because it's an online copy. But there's quite a few things in it that I would like to make, yeah. This one's called a star cardigan. The front, I don't know if you can see the stars, but when I show you the back view you can definitely see the stars. But once again we're back on the bubbles again. This is double knitting. You use the bubbles to make the star pattern. Can you see? I've got the, it's gone dark outside, so I've got my my diffuser light on. But unfortunately when it's a shiny book it catches the light a bit. So I have to keep wiggling it around. At least with this new camera with the forward facing, I can actually see what I'm showing you, so it's better than the old camera. Now this reminds me of my youth. My mum made me one in cream when it was all the rage, but my loops weren't sort of hanging down loops, they were more firm loops. And I don't know whether you know the singer Tony Christie, but we went to see him in a nightclub, and it was when the long dresses were all the rage back then, you know, with the halter-necks and that. And I had my jacket over the top, and as he walked past in the foyer, he must have come a little bit close to me, and he got his cufflink caught in one of the loops on my jacket. That was an embarrassing 5 minutes, because I was like, oh, that's Tony Christie. And I'm sorry about this. It's entirely my fault, my dear, entirely my fault. And he patiently, you know, extricated his cufflink and took it out of the loops, you know, of my jacket. And he says, such a pretty jacket, it's a shame to spoil it. And then he put his cufflink back in and carried on in the foyer. And I was going, ah. And my friend said to me, why didn't you ask him for his autograph? I said, I didn't think that the timing was quite right. The poor guy was snagged up on my jumper. And I was saying, can I have an autograph? His hands were stuck in my jumper. Couldn't exactly ask him for an autograph, could I? Now this one's called the Balloon Stitch Maxi Cardigan. It's done in Aran weight. It's a very, very chunky, bobbly one. I mean, it's very nice, but Me being a plus size lady, I don't think I'd like to wear anything that made me look slightly like a polar bear, you know what I mean? It's a nice jacket though, it's long, if you can see it goes right the way past down to her knees. Like a coat really, isn't it? Very nice. If somebody was slender enough to wear it, but I think I would have to bypass that. Yeah. This is called the Flower Poncho. It's done in a double knitting. It's, I think, the hexagons, can you see them? Hexagons. I'm not too bad at linking hexagons together, but I'm no good at linking circles. Never got the hang of it. I've watched tutorials, I've even bought an online thing showing me how to put them together. I even bought a book. And it went past me. But I could manage that because they're hexagons or whatever you call them, yeah. It's a poncho. Be nice for the summer that, just to slip over your shoulders, wouldn't it? This one is Ring of Roses top. It's in double knitting. Now, whilst I quite like the top, I think the flowers at the top are a little heavy. You know, maybe just single flowers that laid a bit more flat. I think they just look a little bit chunky, especially around the neckline. But apart from that, it's just a plain sort of granny stitch top as far as I see. Yeah, the back's plain. And the front's got these flowers on. They've got some good pictures in this book. Usually you have pictures and you can't see what the tops look like. But these are good pictures. This is the one I like. It's called Loose Leaf. It's done in Aran. Loose Leaf Jumper. That's the one I like. I wish you hadn't got a hair in front of it. Maybe a better picture inside. Let's have a little look. Yeah, they move it that way so you can't see the instructions. That's a better picture where she's not got her hair in the way. Now I've got my fingers in the way, haven't I? I think that's quite nice, that one. This one's called the Sunshine Shrug. It's done in double knitting. That's a 3-weight, I think, to anybody who's in the US. That's the back. Whoops, the back view of it. Move my fingers. Trying to go not to show you any instructions. That's the back view of it. And that's another view of the front. It's charted as well as instructions, I think. This one says it's a basket stitch crop jacket and it's done in double knitting. It's another of the shorty ones. They seem to be all the fashion. This one is actually a little bit longer than the pattern. It was supposed to be shorter than that on the pattern. So I made it a little bit longer. That's what it looks like. And that's the back view, showing a close-up of the stitch. Very nice. I'm not keen on the front fastening, but that's easily adjustable, isn't it? This one says it's a dress, but I think it would make a rather nice beach cover-up. Or if you made it just a tiny bit shorter, it'd be nice with a pair of leggings or trousers, wouldn't it? That one's done in 4-ply weight, so that would be like a fingering, I think, in America. It would actually make quite a nice top, wouldn't it? You know, if you cut it short and just made it into a summer top. You didn't have to do the length to it. This one says lace back jumper. It looks very plain. It's just got a lace pattern down the sleeves, if you can see it. But then it shows it reversed. It's done in a double knit. Then it shows it reversed, so that the back is, they're wearing it to the front. I suppose you could do the lacy on the back and the front if you wanted to, couldn't you? Yeah, that's what it looks like with the lacy down the back and the plain at the front. I mean, if you made your mind up before you sort of finished it off, because obviously there's a difference in the neckline, you could either do the lacy bit at the front or the lacy bit at the back, couldn't you? And then this is a jumper dress again. It's done in double knitting. That's the one I said I liked before. It's very hard to show you the pattern stitch. Can you see it? It's a diamond stitch. Again, it says a jumper dress, but I mean, that's up to yourself how long you make it, isn't it? It's just an oversized jumper dress to cuddle in. All in all, I think there's some nice patterns in here that I'll be using, you know, later in the summer, when it goes towards the, you know, autumn, fall, or whatever you want to call it. I think that'd be nice, that, for the, you know, the winter time. Oh, the back view's not got the diamonds on it. The back view's plain. But once again, there's nothing to stop you putting the diamonds on the back if you wanted to. You know, it's charted again, if you're not used to charts. But I think they may be giving you the instructions in. And then that's the, it's an R&R chunky weight. That's the, that'd be nice for the winter, wouldn't it? That's a textured roll neck poncho. You know, it's definitely not a summer poncho, that. Well, unless you live in the UK. That's the front better view of it. That'd be nice and warm, wouldn't it, for the winter? I keep thinking I'm going to make myself a poncho to go over my jackets when I'm on the scooter, because, you know, a windy day like today, the wind blows at me. And I get really chilled very quickly. This one is done in double knitting. It's called the Josie top. Or the Josie top, whichever you want to. That's quite, got the lacy bit at the bottom, but it's quite modest at the top, isn't it? I think it's just plain treble or plain double crochet if you're in America at the top, with just a lacy panel at the bottom. Yeah, it said it's a slight crop, a boxy style. Which, again, you don't have to do it cropped. You can always do it longest, provided you remember to buy an extra ball of yarn, yeah? That's the back view of it. So, as I say, that arrived today, and I'm quite... I've not really heard of this lady, Cassie Ward, before, but I'm sure I'll be hearing her in the future. Because they're quite nice designs. They're not outlandish, you know. I buy some books, and while there's one or two that are like of this world, if you know what I mean, there's quite a few that you think, oh, nobody in their right mind would wear that. I mean, I've just spent this week, actually, while I was sat crocheting, my back's been killing me, but we're not going into that. But I've been sat resting, watching the YouTubes and things like that. And I've been watching the fashion parade, you know, the 2020 spring summer. And some of them, oh dear. You know, you think, well, even if you watered it down a bit, you know, for the normal high street market. And then I came across that one where those guys were wearing those big balloon pants. Have you seen them? They look like big balloons or something that somebody's pumped up, or they look like water balloons, and they're struggling to walk, you know. And I'm thinking, that has got to be the most stupid fashion I've ever seen. I mean, A, you couldn't sit down in them, or you'd be knocking everybody flying, wouldn't you, with these big legs. Couldn't drive in them, could you? Couldn't go on the tube or anything, or the underground wearing them, or the bus. I don't think that's one fashion that will actually take on, really. No, can't see that happening. And they're striped, like deck chairs, you know, like green and white stripes. Oh dear. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw them coming down the catwalk. I thought, There was a couple of, I can't remember which designer it was. There was a couple of like crochet things But they were done in that very, very thick, almost like the stuff you make the blankets of or do arm knitting. One was like a hooded cape, and it was so thick. And then another one was just like a little top that she was wearing over the top of leggings or something. But they were so thick. You know, it was one of those with about 6 rows and you were down from the bottom to the top, you know what I mean? Be easy to crochet. It wouldn't take you 2 minutes, would it? But I can't see anybody wanting to wear anything that thick myself. Yeah, unless I lived in the Arctic or the Antarctic or wherever it's coldest. But, so Poppy should be going home tomorrow. So as I say, I'm not sure if Gigi's coming. His daddy was off work today, so he stayed home. So it was a nice break for Poppy, because he does tend to chase her around a bit, and you know. So Poppy's been sleeping today, because she went out for a walk yesterday. So I think that's about all I've got to say to you now, really. Except I'm glad to have your company. And, oh, let me just adjust the camera slightly. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had quite a few lately. And thank you, of course, to everybody who's my regular subscribers who've stayed with me through thick and thin. And I do appreciate you, yes. This will be going on the Lancashire Crafty Lasses. Kelly has just, I think she's just finished one that's going on Crafty Lancashire Lasses, and she's making a tutorial at the moment. When I'm going down tomorrow, I'm going to take, I bought a lamp on it angles, you know, more for like overhead. So I thought she'd probably get more use out of it than I will, but you know, she's doing her tutorials. But I haven't even unpacked it, so Kelly's the unpacking queen. She likes to undo parcels, so I'll let her see whether it's more use to her than it is to me. And then I've got to take her a mug that she still hadn't got from Christmas that my friend made for her. It says Crochet Queen on it, it's like mine, so we'll be 2 crochet queens. Kelly says every time she makes herself a drink she thinks, oh, I could have me mug. And what else? I've got to take a few bits and pieces down. You know, things that I'd forgotten to take, only little things and stuff. But they keep piling up, you know, I think that's for Kelly. So I'm getting a little pile. So if I'm not going to see her next week, I was going to give them to her at Berry Market, but if the kids are going to be off school and everything, it's going to put the mess on everything. And if this weather continues, and then they keep saying, you know, with this virus thingy-majiggy, you should stay out of crowds. So, I don't know. I mean, my niece has had a really bad cough and a bad throat, but she rang that 111, which is like the advice to see if she could get tested. Because obviously, because she's a headmistress, you know, she's dealing with children. She wanted to make sure that she'd just got a cold, you know, and not got this corona thing. So, I mean, she doesn't think she does, but, you know, you've got to be careful when you're dealing with small children, don't you? So, I'm just going to keep out of the way of everybody and everything. So I think Berry Market is a no-no for that reason, really, because, you know, it's always crowded, always really crowded. And much as I would be looking forward to going, much as I am, because I want to look at the wool stall and everything, but I think maybe leave it a couple of weeks till all this dies down and everybody stops panicking about everything and stops buying all this hand sanitizer and loo rolls and whatever else. I mean, somebody said they'd been to the supermarket, there was no pasta. I'm like, what is the world? What's going on? What's the world coming to? There's plenty of food in the supermarkets. There's plenty of fresh fruit and veg. There's, you know, you don't die if you don't get pot noodles, do you? You know what I mean? Or ramen noodles, as you would call them in the US. I wouldn't eat the things anyway. Almost like eating polystyrene, isn't it? You know what I mean? No, I'm not doing any panic buying. I've got plenty of loo rolls, thank you. So, and I've got rice, and I've got everything I need. Not that I panic bought it, I just had rice already, you know what I'm saying? Just my normal supplies.